Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in and welcome back to episode 3. We're going to dive right in. We left off on episode 2, just finished up the tub chassis, so super compact in there. You actually have to put the ESC on top of the servo, but other than that, yeah, everything fits in there really nice. So we are going to, I believe, finish up with that tub chassis and then get on to that crazy kind of steering setup. It's definitely unique on this one, so we're gonna dive right in. I'm gonna get that knocked out and then I'll update you guys on the way. All right, we are back. Yeah, that's a crazy steering setup. Super cool. I like how you can adjust, super easy without having to take them off. But yeah, very unique and crazy design. It's a little tricky because it's a flange nut, so you kind of have to hold the flan nut and the brass guide or post and then the screw. So it's a little tricky, but other than that, got it done. So yeah, super unique, but it's pretty solid. It's got a little metal rod in here. So yeah, it's a pretty sturdy setup. So actually exciting, we get to start finally, I believe, mating, and the rear and the front gearboxes and suspension assembly. We get to mount that to the tub chassis. So yeah, and like I was saying, this, again, all stock, per the manual, valving, oil, coil compressors, but it feels really good. So I'll be really excited to get this out. But yeah, I'm gonna get those together and then keep on trucking along here, and I'll update you guys when everything is done. All right, we were back. Lots of updates. So some of the work I did off camera, but yeah, was able to get the rear and the front mounted together. So looks really fantastic. Got all the wires squared away. Yeah, super happy with it. This thing looks absolutely rad, and kind of more like a competition buggy from Tamiya, especially with all the aluminum parts. But yeah, feels really good. I kind of messed around with the spring compressors. I put the bigger ones on just because the aluminum does add a little bit of weight. But once I get the tires on, yeah, I'll get them all dialed in and kind of test them out. But yeah, got all the wiring all neat and screwed away. Got the battery holders on, and drive shaft in. This thing was kind of weird. The hole for the antenna was just way too big. I thought maybe you were supposed to put like a little set screw or something like that, but no. So I just ended up wrapping the end with a little bit of electrical tape, and then I just did a little dab of school glue or Elmer's glue and put it in there. I want the antenna to stay underneath the body. I don't want it to stick out. It has a super, you'll see here I got the body all cut out, but kind of, to me, has like a jet fighter look. So yeah, I want to keep it clean and sleek. Got all of the I don't know if you want to call them turnbuckles or steering rods, but yeah, this is a super intricate steering setup, and everything is adjustable, so it makes it really, really easy. But yeah, super crazy how that whole setup works. Definitely new for me, and the first Tamiya kind of buggy kit that I did. That's where the switch was supposed to go, but Tamiya changed on the ESCs that they give you, so I actually just put some foam in there to kind of cover that hole. But yeah, everything else turned out really, really good. I had to get these adapters on so you can fit the egress wheels. So those are just the hub adapters that Tamiya sells. So I got those on. And then speaking of tires, whew, holy smokes! It was literally over a 2-day process because my fingers hurt so bad, and I couldn't have done it. I used like a little prying tool. I thought I had it here, but I don't. Oh, here it is. Yeah, I use this thing. And without this, I don't know if I would have been able to get the tires on because the stock rims are a little bit smaller than these 2-inch ones. But yeah, these are, what's the front of the rear? Those are the rear, and then those are the front. So the egress is a little bit staggered. But yeah, I had to add some foam because stretching the tire, and with the recess in the rims being so deep, the tires just would collapse. So yeah, I put some foam in there and they feel a lot better and will hold their structure. So that turned out really, really good. Speaking of kind of the body part, so I got that all cut and masked out. This was a super bummer. Some of the kits I have included window masks, and for some reason this kit didn't include window masks. Now you could also get them from MCI, but I'm just gonna have to go through all my other kits and then take inventory and then just order it in kind of a mass order. But yeah, I was super bummed, and that's one of the things I hate. I hate masking. I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up. I don't know. There's like 50 million pieces of tape that I had to cut just to get to that contour, but yeah. So other than that, I got that body all cut. It wasn't too hard. The radiuses weren't too crazy on this particular one. The one that really sucked was the rear wing. Getting that radius right there, oof, because angled down, and yeah, it was not fun. But I love the look of the body. It's like a super, I don't know, almost jet kind of look. We'll get it on here so you can see. But yeah, like a jet style, very reminiscent of the VQS. So really excited to get some paint on that one. And then I got the driver all squared away. And this is really thin plastic on this, so be careful. That's the, it's like a driver slash ESC and electronics cover. But I went with pretty much box art with the addition of, I went with metallic. I like the metallic colors because it gives the helmets kind of that old school look. And then I just did the kind of box art white driver. I kind of made it try to make it like a little worn or dirty, because this I'm used to them being plastic, and this one obviously is the PS style. So yeah, added some like off-white and some other white, and I put like a little bit of black or gray and kind of the creases to give him that kind of weathered look, so that way he's not shiny. But yeah, the polycarbonate on this one really thin, so be careful. But yeah, driver turned out good. So yeah, really excited. We're almost on the home stretch. I have to obviously paint the body. I need to get the front bumper on. It's a huge front bumper. Obviously get the wheels mounted, and then yeah, I think after that, hopefully when this is done, it'll be a rolling chassis. So I'm gonna get those knocked out, and then I'll be back to update you when everything's done. And there you have it. She is all done. I've successfully added her onto the RC wall, so I'll throw up a couple pictures real quick so you guys can see that. And since we're on that topic, kind of on a side note, I get a lot of inquiries on Instagram on how I hang my buggies on the wall. So I'm going to make a real quick video kind of tutorial going over how I do it, and yeah, all that good stuff, because people seem to really like it, and obviously I really enjoy it as well. So let's bring you guys in a lot closer and get a better look. Alright, so great build all in all. I pretty much did box art with kind of a little twist on it. I have a lot of buggies that are the darker shade of kind of the box art blue on the Terra Scorcher. And I actually had some decals left over from the Kyosho Turbo Scorpion, because I didn't 100% go box art on that either. And the darker blue of those decals really kind of matched the box art. So I wanted to throw in at least some kind of box art, but like I said, do it a different base color. And I think it turned out really good. My first time using this style of paint from Tamiya, but yeah, super happy. Love the color. Turned out fantastic. Really kind of makes the gold pieces pop. And I mentioned I didn't know if I was going to be like a big fan of the blue suspension arms and kind of yellow CVAs, but with all the blue, it actually ended up going together really good. So I added, like I said, some leftover decals in that darker blue. Added one up front here in the nose. Ended up going, so I wanted to try to add some more yellow too, and it kind of worked out really good because these have that yellow writing on it. So Off-Road Racer, ended up doing that on the top. California Motorsport Club, even though this one is like Riverside, California, it was still a California club sticker, so I thought it went really good. Added the little blue notches up on the wing to kind of tie in some blue, and then added additional striping back here. So yeah, I'm really happy with it. I love all the different blues in there, and again, being able to tie in kind of a darker blue with some of the suspension arms, I think really paid off and helped it a lot. Other than that, we ended up going with, I mentioned these tires were, holy smokes. You can get them on, but it's a fight and a half. So egress wheels or BQS wheels, but these are, you know, just the standard Tamiya ones that come in black. So ended up doing those, was able to stick the spikes over it, the factory spikes, And actually, even though it's a bigger rim, it's kind of like low profile. I like the look. It's a little bit smaller, and it kind of gives it even more of that jet fighter almost look. Went with the RC Evo Logic parts. That was the full kit, so really happy. I think that turned out really, really good. You got that dreaded A5 part that replaces it, and got the A8 in the back. But yeah, I'll link the videos down in the description, or you'll see it in the playlist. You know, one of the few that offers kind of that gold anodized color, and a lot of CNC to keep the pieces light. So I've always wanted to own it and put it on a kit, and I think it turned out really, really good. Suspension wise, this thing feels fantastic. This is my second 4-shock Tamiya build. The only other one I have to compare it to is the VQS, but more suspension travel on the front with this one, and it feels really, really good. Not bouncy, soaks up the bumps, and this is actually 100% stock, so I use just the, you know, the 400 medium weight kit shock oil, and stock springs, stock coil compressors, and it feels really, really good. So I don't really think I'm gonna have to modify it too much. Other than that, went with one of my favorite motors, and I love it in pink. Really kind of adds some color and vintage look to it. But 19 turn retro sport Holmes Hobby motor, so it should boogie pretty good. And yeah, just standard driver, metallic helmet. Kind of like to give them that old school look. But yeah, it was a great build, and definitely light. I can tell a difference, surprisingly, in lightness, even with the aluminum parts over the last one I built, which would be the Super Saber. So, and I actually think this one is even lighter than the VQS. So yeah, should be a great buggy. Really excited to get it out. Only issue, if you want to call it, I explained that in first or second video. I think the first, maybe both, but there's like a thrust washer and a spacer in the gearbox, so you just have to make sure that that's seated right. If not, you'll get some clicking. These transmissions or gearboxes are kind of known to be a little bit clicky on the re-releases until they break themselves in. Something with the molding was just not as good, or the tolerances are a lot tighter. So that would make a little bit more sense to me, kind of better manufacturing, so the gear mesh is a lot tighter. And eventually it kind of goes away. So it was a super noticeable clicking, and I go through that in the first video. So yeah, you just have to make sure it's seated right, both front and rear. And other than that, yeah, everything went together really, really good, and I think it turned out great. So that is going to wrap up this one. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Really look forward to speaking with everybody on that one. And other than that, I appreciate everybody's support, and hope you guys enjoyed this one. As I always say, if you guys are not outside playing with the RC cars, get them off the shelf, dust them off, play with them. That's what they're made for. And we'll get you guys on the next one.